Alright, so I have my different piles of size materials, and a little bit of work doing that saves you so much work when it comes to building your fire structure, and is totally worth the effort. So I have plenty of smaller stuff. I want to take this and I'm going to start to build my fire structure out. I often grab it in bundles. It's a little on the longer side, so I want to snap this in half. And because it's so dry, it really snaps pretty easily. And you can see I'm putting the tops here, the bottoms here. I'm really controlling my materials, I'm keeping them over the fire structure. I see with kids a lot when they're learning to build fire structures that they'll take these and they'll manipulate them all over the place, and when they had started with a fair amount, all of a sudden they've disintegrated into nothing around their structure. So I want to start to build that conical shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to work in bundles. You want to avoid trying to build fire structures stick by stick, just for the sake of time. So I have this bundle, I split it in half, and I have these broken ends here. And I'm going to start by building a triangle by jamming this down, and then the tops together. And they easily enmesh into the matrix of the twigs. I'm going to follow that up by filling it in the back. And then I'm going to do so with two in the front, because I don't want just like a half cone. I really want to build out that conical shape. And every time I'm pushing more material in, I'm pressing it down and into itself so that it really does do that enmeshing. And I'm leaving a spot that just my hand can fit in, that I can see from this angle right here, that we're going to use to light the fire structure at large. So I really repeat these actions, working my way around, and I kind of just have picked up the pattern of side, side, back, front. Right? So these bottoms are a little bit thicker, and you can see that getting put on. After teaching so many people how to build these fire structures, what I find really charming is that you see a lot of people's personal individual style come through, and maybe certain qualities of who they are as they build their fire structure. Brad builds really nice, precise, clean structures. Mine have a touch of chaos in them. And what's important though is they both light. So we're following same basic principles here. Gradation of materials as we're moving in that conical shape. And I'm also making sure that as I'm pressing in, right, they're forming into that matrix, but they're also making contact with each other. Those little twigs are so important because they're going to catch the flame from the tinder bundle, or whatever it is that you're using to light this fire structure. They're going to catch that flame, and it's their job to light the next size material, to light the next size material, and so on. If there's too much space between your materials, it's really hard for those flames to make that jump and burn that bigger material. So having a nice tight fire structure is important. It's been exceedingly rare that somebody builds a fire structure that's too tight, but very often when people are learning, I see them build pretty loose, open, airy fire structures. So build your fire structure the way that pleases you, precise, touch of chaos, what have you. But we're following these basic principles that make it really important that it's going to do what we intend for it to do, which is burn. I'm somebody who really enjoys the idea that in considering fire like a creature, that it holds true to some of these like basic principles of life. So we've created a home in the fire structure itself at large. It needs food in the form of fuel. It also needs appropriate air and oxygen in which to burn. And so we just want to manage those variables. So we're paying a lot of attention right now to its food source, that fuel, so it has the right sized fuel to eat and to grow and become bigger. And then as it matures in size, then it's going to be able to consume larger and larger fuel. You're going to need a larger home for it potentially. And there's the old maxim that fire loves its fools. And so if you're not one to take care of what this, this creature or this entity into itself, however you want to think about it, it could really run rampant and out of control and grow beyond your ability to control it. And that's why we really also want to give attention to these details. So, yeah, think about that as you're building your fire structure. I'm going to put on a little bit more wood. I have wood reserved to the side. If I'm going to be burning something and it's going to be consuming that fuel, I don't want to be running around trying to gather up more material while it's burning, but have some available to me so it can have some stability, some longevity. Once fires are burning for a while, they become more mature and that stability sets in. Once we light this is going to be a fresh fire, a new fire. And so we want to have the material that we need at hand.